Joe here with Complete Immigration Guide to give you some more tips from my 20 years experience working with U.S. immigration here in the United States. Let's talk about F1 visas today, student visas. If you get accepted here at a school, and if they've given you an I-20 and you paid for the SEVIS fees, you can take all that documentation that the school will give you, and you can take that to the embassy where you live and apply for a student visa. If granted the student visa, you will be allowed to come to the U.S. To study. And at that particular school, the school will be written on the visa, and it's generally for a 5-year visa. But it's not always a 5-year visa, so keep that in mind. But if you come to the U.S. and you study and you start studying and you realize, well, this isn't for me, and you drop out and you do not go to another school or transfer to another school here in the U.S. on that visa, then you must then go home because you have not been granted permission to do anything else in the U.S. besides study. And so if you do not go home, and what happens a lot of times I've seen, people will just find jobs and they'll work here illegally, and then they'll go home, maybe even get a new SEVIS form or a new I-20, and then try to come back on that old visa. That is a big problem. If you do not study with that visa when you come in, you must then go home. And another thing, if you, for instance, you change schools and you go out of one school and you transfer to another, that the original school might flag you with U.S. Customs and Immigration Service, which means you will then be a SEVIS violator. And that's can be a big deal or maybe not a big deal, depending on what happens next. If you change schools and if you go to transfer to that new school and you continue going to school there, when you go out of the country, let's say on spring break or for summer break, and then you come back the next time, you will be flagged at the border. They will pull you aside. They will ask you more questions about your schooling the last time you were in the U.S. My advice to you, and I've seen this many times, make sure you have a good contact number from the old school that you went to and from the new school. And by a contact number, I mean a guidance counselor with a telephone number, not only to the telephone number at the school, but perhaps their personal number, because the immigration officer might want to talk to them to make sure that you are indeed going to school there. So that's very important to make that you have that, because if not, you could be sent back. They might cancel your visa and send you back. Another thing is, people who have F1 visas, they think, well, I can come here maybe in the summer for vacation on my F1 visa when they're not coming in to go to school. No, you cannot. You must have a B1, B2 visitor visa to be able to do that. So those are some tips that can help you as an F1 student. Be very careful with the SEVIS form. Be very careful when you go to school. Make sure you transfer correctly. Go to your international guidance counselor at your schools, and they should be able to help you with this process. So I hope that helps you. If you're planning on being an F1 student visa in the future, be sure and like and share this page and subscribe to the page for any upcoming videos that I might be making here soon. Thank you.